Hello guys, this is Joana Saahirah with a bonus video offered with our online course, Finding and Expressing Yourself in Egyptian Dance and in Life. This video is an offer that we do. We give this video to the students with our class number 3. And it's about finding your voice or your personal style, your fingerprint. Let me start by telling you that finding your voice or your style is something that can be applied to Egyptian dance and to your own life, to everything that you do. What do I mean by finding your voice? Well, finding your voice has to do with discovering your own way of doing things. It doesn't mean that you don't need to learn from others. It doesn't mean that you don't get inspired by others. It doesn't mean that you don't get informed and guided by the ones who have more experience than you or by the ones that do things in a way that you actually like, right? So information, inspiration, education are one thing. Finding your own way of using whatever you know is another. If you just get inspired by others, if you just get information from others, but you never search for your own identity in what you do, you will be a copy of your teachers, you will be a copy of the people that you like, the people that you watch, the people that you listen to, and that's not the intention of the creative process. The intention here is for you to become more you and to express who you are through your dance and through everything that you do. How do you think? How do you feel? How do you listen to a certain song? How does your body react when you listen to a certain musical piece? How are you awakened? How are you moved when you listen to a certain musical piece? What kind of movements, what kind of pauses, what kind of expression, what kind of internal world comes to life when you listen to a certain song? These are just some ideas that will give you guidelines. They give you a notion, a very wide concept of what it means to start to find your own voice. Of course, in order to find your own voice, you have to trust yourself. This is a big problem for most dancers. It's not that they don't have a voice, they don't trust their voice. So when they are listening to a song and their body wants to do something, they doubt, they go back, they stop themselves because they think, oh, no, this cannot be right. It cannot be interesting because I'm doing it instinctively. So I'm not interesting enough. I'm not knowledgeable enough. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not good enough. At the base, I'm not good enough is a real bullshit. I'm not good enough screws up so many things, including the process of finding yourself, your own voice when you are developing as a dancer. So self-confidence is very important. It's not arrogance, and I make the distinction often because I see there is this confusion between self-confidence and arrogance. Arrogance, I repeat, is about looking at yourself as more or less than other people. Self-confidence is not even comparing yourself, knowing that you're unique and so is everybody else. That's self-confidence, okay? So we take away the comparison thing, that thing, and we start to notice how we have our own unique way of doing things. Again, it's not better than worse than anyone. That's not the point. It's ours. So it's different. It's original because it's ours. And we are originals. Everybody is. Trust yourself. Allow your body and your mind and your heart to produce things, even if you don't use them all. When I'm choreographing a dance piece, most often than not, I change things. I come up with a phrase that is not exactly what I want. It doesn't mean I don't trust myself. I go for it, but in that moment, that's what I can produce, and I know I can do better. So eventually, I will return to that phrase and I will improve it, right? But I use my instinct. I use what my body can produce that day, and I get things done. So when you are choreographing a dance piece, let's say, and you're trying to find your own style, find your own way of doing things, do not doubt yourself. Just do it. And then if you find a place, a territory, a space for improvement, you can go back to the choreography and change it and improve it and start from all over again, from the beginning. It's okay. So we have here self-confidence. We have also the notion of doing what you can right now with security, self-confidence, with trust in your own instinct, and then the humbleness to redo things if you feel something can be improved. Okay? On another level, finding your own voice has to do with not being afraid of the judgment of others. When you copy your teacher or someone more experienced than you, someone that you like, you're kind of going for a safe bet. You're using material from someone who is more knowledgeable or someone at least you consider more knowledgeable, and you know that formula has been tested because that person is often a professional dancer, that person is often someone who has been on stage and applauded. So that's a safe bet. Doing things your own way is never safe because if you do it your own way, it's unique, it's original, it's unseen. Therefore, there is the risk of being judged positively or negatively. Some people will like it, some people will not like it, some people will be indifferent. And this is also a very scary aspect of finding your own voice, is that when you start to do things your own way and explore your body, explore your musicality, explore the way you deal with music, the way you react and materialize to music, there comes a point where you will eventually share it with someone and you will have to deal with people's judgment. This is what I call the thick skin. Obviously, if you are a professional dancer, or you want to be, you need to have a very, very thick skin because not everybody will like you and not everybody will dislike you. It's just what it is. And you cannot let yourself be guided by other people's opinions. It's very good to be applauded and it's very good to be constructively criticized, but others cannot be your guideline. You are your guideline. What your soul, what your inside world decides to do, that's from where art comes from. It is not from the opinions of others. That's not how artists work. Not in dance, not in any other field. So it's very important that you value others' perspective, but you do not let your sense of self-esteem and value and guidance in their hands. Okay? You are the owner, the author of your own dance. If others receive it warmly, it's wonderful. If not, you have to judge for yourself and you have to dance and do it for yourself before anything else. If you do something that you don't consider interesting but others love it, it's a bummer. So the first person that must love what you do is you. Okay? And it's wonderful that other people like it. It's a plus, of course. But I repeat, they should not be your guideline. Yeah. Also, in finding your voice, or finding your own way of doing things, there is a lot of trial and error. And I've been mentioning this for years, because it's something that I see with myself. Everything I teach are things that I've experienced myself, not only observed in my students. And there is a side of discovering yourself that has to do with error, allowing yourself to make mistakes. I mentioned this many times in different courses and in festivals around the world, and I'm not sure if people understand it because mistakes have such a bad reputation. And in the creative process, allowing yourself to do mistakes, what we call mistakes, is essential. It's not only something that will happen, rest assured. If you are a creative person and if you're actually doing stuff, you're actually choreographing, you're actually performing, you're actually writing, you're actually painting. Not everything that you do will be brilliant. You will do things that you don't find interesting. You will do awful things. You do bullshit. You will do great things. It's very dynamic. We're not straight line. So allowing yourself to make mistakes under brackets, to try, to experiment like a child is very, very important. And it's an essential part of finding your own voice, finding your own way of doing things. Last but not least for now, about developing your own style. You have to love your body, and physical body, and you have to allow it to be whatever it is at every single moment. This is a very big issue, both for male and female dancers, especially, and particularly performers, professional dancers who expose themselves in public. There is this very almost obsessive relationship with the physical body and criticism. I often say that a good body for dance is an efficient body. It is not a skinny body, it is not a certain shape. It's a body that is working fine. It's healthy, it's strong, it's flexible. It can do whatever you need it to do with it, right? Also in life, I have the same opinion. You know, a good body is a healthy, is a strong body, right? It's a painless body. It's a body that is able to do all the tasks that you need it to do with pleasure, with joy, with easiness, with fluidity. And having this positive relationship with your physical body is also an essential part of finding your own voice. Because if we are talking about dance, and we can be specific about dance, everything that you do will come through your physical body. If you hate your physical body, if you keep criticizing it, if you're mean to it, if you're too worried about it, you will always be biased and your discoveries, your expression will always be limited by your self-criticism. So there is here at the base a kind of love for your physical body that has to be there, a kind of respect. Also, love is respect, okay? So respect your physical body. If you feel that you're not healthy, you're not fit, don't condemn yourself. Don't, beat yourself up. Yeah, just get in shape. Eat better, sleep better, do whatever it takes to improve your health. But have or build a positive relationship with your physical body, fully aware that that's your main tool for your dance. It's not the only tool, but it's your main tool. In order to express myself, I need my physical body. If I don't trust, if I don't love or respect the tool I use to express myself, something will go wrong and I will always be limited in the way I put myself up there, okay? One last thing. Don't be afraid to be loud and clear. Whatever you want to communicate in your dance or in any other venue, any other creative task, do not be ashamed of your own perspective. Do not be ashamed of your own vision. Do not be ashamed of speaking up. This is how I see a flower. This is how I listen to the song. This is how I see this painting. This is how I dress. This is how I see this theme. This is how I write. This is whatever. Do not be afraid to have a voice, literally. Do not shut up in order not to make waves, okay? We are here to live, to enrich each other's lives by expressing who we truly are. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I welcome you to our online course. It's happening live and recorded at Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School. If you missed the live classes, you can always subscribe to the recorded course and you'll have access to all the classes, all the bonus material, and you can download those classes and view them as many times as you wish. Okay? Enjoy the ride. Much love, and I'll see you soon.